Hi everybody and welcome to the very first episode of the Sunday Night Indigenous Sex and Love Show. We're here today with myself, Edward Sear, and
Lauren LaValle.
And so the first thing we wanted to really start by doing was doing a land acknowledgement that we are here on the Haudenosaunee territory, along with the Mississauga New Credits, the Huron-Wendat, and of course the Anishinaabe people. So we really wanted to just do a quick land acknowledgement that we are accommodating this beautiful land of Turtle Island. So we're going to start off with just a little bit of introductions of ourselves. So my name is Edward Sear. I work for the Native Canadian Centre of Toronto. I am from Eagle Village First Nation. I'm part of the Algonquin people. My spirit name is Sacred Eagle Man, or also known as Two Feathers. And so we're really excited to bring you this amazing episode. And I'll let Lauren introduce herself now as well.
So my name is Lauren LaValle. I work for Toronto Bail Program as an Indigenous bail supervisor. I'm Ojibwe and Trini. My spirit name is Evening Star, and I come from Whitefish River First Nation, but I was born and raised in Toronto.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, so we're going to barrel on, and Lauren will tell you a little bit about what the Sunday Night Indigenous Sex Show is.
So basically our goal is to bring awareness and bring a dialogue to talk about topics, sensitive topics of love and sex to our Indigenous youth.
Absolutely. And so one of the reasons why we're having these important dialogues as well is to just create sexual health information and resources, not just to our Indigenous youth, but to all people. So we're really, really looking forward to that. So I want to warn some of the viewers that some of the content in this video will have sexual discussions and different dialogue that some people might not always be so comfortable. So we are warning individuals in advance for that. And
so the first thing we're going to talk about is...
Oh, wait, before we go any further, the episode that we're doing today is called Safer Sex. And that's what we want to focus on today, is talking about safer sex. So I'll let Lauren go ahead there.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to be talking about today is vaginal hygiene. So contrary to many beliefs, people think that the fluid that our vagina emits is gross and not cleanly, but it actually is really important in protecting ourselves against infections. So the lubricant our vagina produces naturally is actually a protective barrier against STDs, STIs, infections and such like that. So overwashing the vagina using products like douching or using really harsh soaps actually strips away that barrier, and then it makes us more prone to infections such as urinary tract infections. So it's really important to wash our vaginas actually with warm water and then a mild soap if necessary, but we really shouldn't be using any scented products or stuff like that. In addition, we do not have to actually wash the inside of our vagina.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So, and also for men, personal hygiene in our penis areas is really important as well. And this is also for anybody who's gender neutral, who has a penis. And if you are circumcised, you want to make sure that you're cleaning your penis. If you're not circumcised, it's really important too that we're pulling back the skin to clean the head of the penis as well, because sometimes moisture can get locked in there and bacteria can grow in moisture. So we want to make sure that we're cleaning our private areas, and this can also reduce bacterial infections, things like yeast infections as well, just by having dirt or bacteria that may accumulate in the private areas. So we're going to move right on now to
manual sex.
Manual sex. What is manual sex?
So manual sex, for those who don't know, is a sexual activity that involves your hands. So that would include fingering and fisting. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So basically, for manual sex, it's very low in contracting STIs, but there are still preventative measures that you can take to prevent getting STIs, because it still could happen. So the first thing would be wearing actually a surgical latex gloves that you can actually get at health organizations. You can find them at the local drugstore. So you would put that on because our hands do get cuts. So if you were to have an open cut on your hand and place your hand in the vagina, like there's a chance that that person could contract an STI. So we would want to wear gloves if we engage in activities like fisting or fingering. In addition,
sometimes the fingernails also can be a little bit long, and so if you're actually fingering someone, you can actually cause tearing within the vagina. And so we want to make sure that this is also a great preventative measure, and you can always add lubrication for that as well, which helps with penetration and helps with easy access. So moving right on now, we're going to talk a little bit about flavored condoms and dental dams, is what they know as. So flavored condoms, it's really important that people know this. Flavored condoms are actually for oral sex, not vaginal sex. And why that is that there's certain stuff that's on a flavored condom that can cause irritation, discomfort, yeast infections if using during vaginal penetration or anal penetration. So we want to make sure that we are using flavored condoms for oral sex. Now, dental dams, we don't have any on today, but guess what? I always believe the best resource is to be resourceful. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a quick demonstration of how we can, in fact, make a dental dam out of a female condom or a male condom. So, as you can see, we open up the female condom, which is quite big right now. And so we can take our scissors, like such, and just cut around the condom area. And so what you're essentially would be doing is placing this over the vagina for safe oral sex. This can also be used for also stimulating someone's their balls or their testicles as well. So sometimes the flavored condoms don't cover that area, and you never know. You just want to make sure that you're keeping your self-cleanliness. And also, I'm going to just do a quick demonstration with a condom, because if you don't have a insertive condom, or used to be known as a female condom, but now we want to be more inclusive, so we're calling it an insertive condom, because our friends from the LGBTQ community are also utilizing that. So you can see, you're going to roll out the condom like such, and it's essentially the same process. So you're just going to snip there like that, and you probably want to use the scissors, because the tearing does not go straight like you'd want it to. So I'm just going to get in here, and we're going to make sure that we're snipping all the way. Just bear with me, audience members. And so now this is, and I think why the insertive condom is a little bit better is because it's a lot bigger. But nonetheless, this can also be done with a condom as well. And once again, that's for oral sex. We want to remind people, homemade condoms, saran wrap, sandwich baggies, these are not effective tools. And for those of you who may believe also in the pull-out technique, this is also not effective from preventing you from catching STIs or STDs. Or pregnancy. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to quickly grab some hand wipes while Lauren continues on with the next topic.
So we're also going to talk about how to insert a female condom or insertive condom. So what we want to do is basically look at the expiry date first on this condom. It's in the back right here, and then we're going to want to push it to the side. We're going to want to tear it open. We don't want to use our teeth and scissors, because that could puncture the condom and then it'll be useless. So we're going to want to push it to the side and then open it, and then we're going to pull it out, and you're going to see that it actually has 2 rings. So there's a smaller ring and there's a bigger ring, right? And so the smaller ring, we're going to actually squeeze it like so. So squeeze it like this, and then we're going to insert that into whatever area, the vagina or the anus, and you're going to push it in there until you can't feel it anymore. So it's going to be in there, and then it's going to be like this. So this part is actually a flap that goes over whatever area, and it protects you against STIs. And so what you want to do next is actually guide the penis in there. So you're going to want to hold it open so it doesn't, and so guide the penis in there so it doesn't go around the condom and just guide it in there like so. It should go in like this. And after you're done having sex, you're gonna want to take the penis out, and you're gonna want to twist the condom while it's still in you, and then you're gonna want to pull it out, and you're twisting because you don't want the semen to come out, and then you're gonna kind of bunch it up like this, get a tissue, put it in the tissue, and then throw it in the garbage, which I think is over here.
Perfect. And also, you can use lubrication during that process on the inside the condom to help with the penetration process as well. So we're gonna go on now, and if you want, do you want me to grab you a napkin there?
Yes, please.
So these Lysol wipes help because, as people may know, the condoms can get quite lubricated. Now I have 3 different condoms here, and I'm going to go through them. The first condom that we have is a latex-free condom, and so some people may have an allergy to latex or may have really sensitive genital areas, and so the latex can irritate that, and so that's why we offer as well latex-free condoms. We also have lubrication-free condoms, which also, because some people like to have, use different lubrications that's more sensitive to their vagina or the rectum or to their own area. So we want to make sure that we're offering that. The second condom we have here is a latex condom, and that latex condom that is lubricated. That's to help with penetration, and we also have some lube here. Lube also helps a lot because by using lube, you're actually reducing the probability of tearing, and tearing comes with blood, and blood is, and then we are aware that blood is sometimes how the HIV transmission occurs. So we want to make sure, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to use how to put on a condom on our Nana.
I'll actually hold it up for you.
Thank you, team effort. And so now, once again, as Lauren said, it's so important to check the expiry date on your condoms. You don't want to use old condoms because they're higher risk of breaking, tearing, or maybe even just having bacteria on them through the process of keeping them concealed. Now, the condom is an interesting thing because I think one of the big problems is a lot of people put the condoms on backwards and they're wondering why it ain't rolling down. So there is one way that the condom rolls up, and normally you could see that by doing this. Mm-hmm. So what we'll do is we're gonna put that on. Now, as you can see, this tip here is to allow fluid to get in so it's not breaking, and then we're just gonna roll down the condom like so. And as you can see, now this is how to correctly put on a condom, and this will help reduce STIs, STDs, HIV, and of course pregnancy as well. So this is one of the effective things. I want to thank our wonderful Banana for participating with us and helping us out here. And we're going to move right on to the next subject. And I want to just, before we go for it, birth control does not prevent STDs or STIs. So those of you who are on birth control who may think, oh, well, I'm not going to get pregnant, it's not going to protect you from gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, HIV, or any of the other sexually transmitted infections that are out there. So we'll move right on to, oh yes, this is another point that I wanted to bring up. And this is for people who are having sex, who want to access different areas of penetration. So for instance, if you are going to want to be having anal sex and vaginal sex with your partner, it's really important that you are hopefully able to have separate condoms for each point of entry, because if you're having anal sex and you take the penis out and insert that into the vagina, fecal matter could in fact get onto the condom or onto the penis, and that's going to be put into the vagina, which can cause all sorts of bacterial infections, discomfort, yeast infections, and a lot of other stuff. And same thing with oral sex. So if you're going to be putting a penis in your mouth after it's been in the rectum, this can also cause infections and essentially get you sick. So we want to make sure that people are aware of that, to have multiple condoms if they're going to be wanting to access different points of penetration. So we'll move right on, and I'll let Lauren go ahead with this part.
So we're gonna talk about being tested regularly. It's really important to get tested every few months, maybe once every 6 months, and to get tested once you start engaging in intercourse with a new partner. Prior to the fact or after the fact, it's just important to always get tested because you never know what you might have contracted. If you're having unprotected sex, even if you're having protected sex, like, you know, the possibilities of contracting anything through even without having sex, it can happen. Like tattoos, it happens. So it's important to always be tested and be aware, especially because like having STIs and STDs unfortunately is like criminalized in our society. So there's a lot of like ramifications that would occur if you were to give somebody something or if you were to contract something. So it's always good to protect yourself and the person, whoever you're sleeping with is.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people, this is another big issue, is the concept of trusting our partners. And people say, well, I'm only sleeping with one person. We still urge you to go get tested regularly, regardless of if you're in a committed relationship or not. And that's just to keep yourself safe. So we do know as well that early detection of certain things also help with health complications and reducing those complications. For instance, HIV, that early detection can really prevent health complications. We want to make sure that people are getting tested regularly. And so where can you get tested? Toronto Public Health has a variety of different places. Hassle-Free Clinic is also a great place to go get tested. And any local doctor's office often has a testing site close by, or they can refer you to. So please go see your doctor and ask them where you can access safe testing stuff. And then that's where we are at, where to get tested, and we want to just really stress how important that is in safer sex practices.
So now we're going to talk about more, because this whole time we've been talking a lot about the physical aspect of sex, so we're going to talk about the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspect of safer sex. So, of course, like, you know, when you share your body with somebody, like, that emotionally, it's a very intimate process, so that takes a toll on your emotions, on your mental well-being, on your spirit, you know, like, who you share your body with, you're sharing your spirit with, right? Mm-hmm. So we keep that in mind.
Be careful who you let in your sweat lodge.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we have boundaries, like, when it comes to sex, like what are your personal boundaries, and to vocalize that when you're engaging with a partner, and to always have consent. You know, during sex, it's a process where things can happen, and like, you know, you might not feel comfortable with whatever your partner is doing, and you should vocalize that and say like, I'm not okay with that, and it's okay to say no.
No means no, and that's really important too, especially when there's drugs and alcohol in the play, and some people can be very aggressive and assertive and forceful. And we want to remind individuals that your body is yours, and you do not have to share your body with anybody at any time. You are able to say no to people. And you know, that's really important when we talk about the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect of sharing our bodies with people. There comes a lot of emotions and feelings that come with that, and we want to make sure that when we talk about safer sex, that we're keeping you safe mentally and emotionally. And you know, far too often people are in relationships where they feel pressure to have sex, and they feel pressure to lose their virginity by partners who may say, oh, I'm going to leave you, I'm not happy. And if somebody really loves you and cares about you, they will wait for you and wait for the right time, and they're going to be able to be part of being in love is a part of respecting other people's choice. So in closing, this is our very first episode. I hope some of this information was beneficial. I want to send a special wave out to PWA Toronto, and that's People with AIDS Toronto. We're down here at their site today. They've accommodated all of this wonderful stuff. Their staff team has been so amazing, and they've really honored us wanting to do this Indigenous project. So I want to send a special thank you to Rini, who's doing our amazing stuff right now, and we want to thank also Kyle and Suzanne, all the amazing people, all the staff that we have here. So thank you very much. Please stay tuned for next week.
Thank you.